Some sad news to bring to you out of the NFL. Pro Football Hall of Famer Dick Butkus has died at the age of 80. Butkus spent his entire career with the Chicago Bears and is a member of the NFL's 100th anniversary team. In a statement from Butkus' family, the family says, quote, "The Butkus family confirms that football and entertainment legend Dick Butkus died at peace, at peace in his sleep overnight at home in Malibu, California. The Butkus family is gathering with Dick's wife, Helen. They appreciate your prayers and support. Additional information will be provided when it is available." Joining us now for reaction, Bears Pro Bowler and NFL on CBS analyst Kyle Long, alongside our longtime columnist, Pete Prisco. Gentlemen, this is an icon in the game, and as someone who grew up with the pictures on the wall in the basement, no better question to ask than to Kyle Long. This oral history is passed down, and one I'm sure was made very clear to you throughout your time, both as a son of the NFL and a player in the NFL. What did Dick Butkus mean to you?
Well, there's a few names you grow up understanding that they have tremendous weight. They hold tremendous weight in the history of the game. Dick Butkus being at the top of that list for me, being a Chicago Bear. He is the city of Chicago. He was the city of Chicago personified and got to take that attitude and characteristics and bring them onto the football field, physical presence, and such a sweet guy every time I got to speak to him in Chicago.
Pete, your experience with Dick Butkus, if you could share a little. I know you've covered the league for a long time, and these are names that just predate anything that we know of the NFL today. But to understand Dick Butkus and that era is to understand the NFL. Do you have any experience to share here with the man?
Well, I mean, I got to watch him play. I mean, that's how old I am. I actually got to see him play when I was a kid, and remember growing up, everybody feared Dick Butkus. I mean, if you weren't a Bears fan, every opponent feared him. But, you know, everybody remembers the violence and the big hits and the way he attacked the running back and the fullback in the hole. What you don't remember is how good he was at doing so many things. You know, people used to say, well, if Dick Butkus played in this era, well, what would he be? He'd be a great linebacker. He had 22 picks in his career. The guy was all over the field. He also had 18 sacks in the season. Think about that. That was before sack numbers were credited to guys, but he had 18 sacks in the season. He could do it all. He's the greatest middle linebacker who ever played the game. I know there'll be some argument of Ray Lewis and Mike Single, but no, Dick Butkus is the best of all time.
I mean, paved the way for all of them. 6'4", 245, plays in any era. And as we take in these grainy images that I know from a Chicagoan standpoint are stamped in time. Kyle, when you see this brand of football, and when you had the helmet and shoulder pads on, you couldn't help but be inspired by what came before you.
Yeah, when you take this field at Soldier Field and you play on the same surface that the greats that have come before you, like Dick Butkus, you can't help but try to elevate your effort level, your commitment to the goal, and just what it is to wear the navy and orange. And Dick Butkus, as I said before, he embodied what it meant to be a Chicagoan, and he brought that attitude onto the field. And there was no better representative for the charter franchise of the NFL.
Yeah, the shame of it is the two of the greatest players in Bears history, they both had their careers cut short, along with Gale Sayers, for injury. I mean, he didn't play a long time, and that's the sadness of it when you have great players like Gale Sayers and Dick Butkus who don't have long careers. I mean, he played for a good period of time, you know, 9, 10 years, but cut short. And Gale Sayers clearly cut short. And they're two of the greatest Bears players of all time. You can remember them, and, you know, you remember what they did on the field. One guy with his electrifying play on the offensive side of the ball, and the other guy with his violent, nasty play on the other. You know, they used to call him the animal. Some of the opponents called him the animal. He used to take things before a game and see somebody laughing at him and use that as fuel to get him going. He was, Dick Butkus was the greatest middle, I said it before, he's the greatest middle linebacker who ever played, and he would be great in this era as well.
A larger-than-life persona and a life well-lived. Pete Prisco, Kyle Long, we appreciate your thoughts as we do have a Bears game out in front of us here on Thursday night.